Welcome to the 39th episode of Haji's Tours. Good morning, my dear friends, and today we are going to a friend for our usual weekly meetups. My dear friends, please don't forget to click like and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you will always be updated every time I put up a new video. Before we goes on a long trip, maybe about 70 kilometers, let's charge some gas and welcome to my favorite gas station, which is the Shell. I usually loading Shell Velocity because if it's octane content and it is very smooth to this Gamma engine. So let's put on the gas for the moment and let's fill in about 100 pesos, equivalent to $2. So this is where we are going to charge up our gasoline with the velocity 97% octane. Okay, for now you can go. Okay, 100. So this is what I am pointing about, that the nozzle of the gasoline pipe should not be touching the mouth of the tank so that the paint will not bubbling. So something like that. So I'm trying to hold it every time I'm filling up the gasoline so as to avoid the contact of the gasoline. So we are charging about 100 pesos, about $2, and it will be about 2.4 liters for a 70-kilometer run. Okay. So thank you very much, my dear friend. So we are heading now to our destination, and incidentally I need to meet another friend on a motorcycle on his Yamaha NMAX, and I am riding a Rusi Gamma. So commonly, as I am reading the page, there are some hate posts or something like bashing on the China motorbikes. But for the meantime, let's forget about these brand wars, and I can show you how the acceleration of this Gamma using Shell Velocity is effectively working on my engine. As you can see, the response of the gas throttle every time I twist it, Gamma accelerates. So on this particular highway run, we can see that there are so many vehicles in front of me, and I will just try to squeeze into any available space so that I will not be stuck up on the traffic. On this particular side, we are going to use the right side safely, but please and always be aware, be attentive to everything that we can see as we are moving to avoid any contact with other vehicles. So you can see the response of the engine, something that every time I twist it, the Gamma engine response. So we can cut short of other vehicles because we pass through the right lane, and this time we're trying to squeeze in again to any space available. This is one of the busiest portion of this town on a national highway with numerous vehicles and no restriction. So long as your vehicle is moving, you can use the highway. Unlike the city driving in Manila, that there are some limitations on which particular vehicle to use a particular highway or road. Just like this one, I can feel the response of the engine. Plus this Gamma has we just had our change oil few days back, so the sound is very smooth. The vibration is very minimal, as I can only hear the movement of the pistons inside and no other vibrations added. This particular highway is always heavy, has always heavy traffic every day, and we are very fortunate that this time we are free to move anywhere, and we need to meet a friend that that's going to be with us on a trip. Meet my friend Robert. Remember that guy that we used his KTM Duke last episode 18, June 20, that we use his KTM Duke in comparison with our Rusi Gamma. He is that very cool guy, and he's going to go with us. And so, going back to our Rusi Gamma performance engine, this is what I love of this wonder bike. It can easily accelerates and immediately responds as I put on the gas, especially that in the Philippine road driving you have to be very attentive, very quick, and your reflexes should always be on time as you are moving with just about 3 or 5 meters allowances on every overtaking that you are going to make on the opposite side of the road. Just like this situation, this is always the scenario on Philippine roads, especially going to the remote places of barangay. So just like this one, I'm always attentive as to where to push on the gas. Just like this one, overtaking the tricycle, getting back to the same lane, overtaking that white van, going back to the same lane again, as the opposite lane is here they come. And I'm always on guard on my right, on my left, and in front especially. And this particular scene, the road is curving on the left with long lines of dump trucks ahead of us, moving very slow, maybe about 10 kilometers per hour. And so I'm ready to go so long as there is a space on the left side. And here we go. This is what I love with this Gamma, going back to the same place again as the jeepney is coming, another car. And now let's wait for another freeway, and we go again, and the road is curving on the right, and so we are going back to our lane exactly with the tricycle coming ahead of us, and that's very good. And here we go again, trying to squeeze some space, and we are just playing like basketball. Every time that we are free, we take on the shot. And so we are free on that time, and so these long lines of tricycles ahead of us is another thing to make on the overtake. And let's see again on the freeway, and here we go again. Oh, unfortunately it's not, so let's go back, and here we go, just like driving a basketball on a heavy traffic. We are just about 500 meters away to our destination, my lovely friend's house. And this is a rough road that we are going to take. And this is what I love with our Gamma. With the size of its tires, it's very comfortable to use in both rough roads and plain highways. As you can see, there are lots of gravel and sand in front of us, but we can pass through with convenience without sliding, so long as you keep your balance effectively as you move in this particular rough road. And there are so many rough roads ahead of us during our trip, in our future trip, I mean. And this one is one of a kind also that we need to somehow familiarize ourselves. And now you can see on your both left and right side the beautiful fish pond. There are some ducks swimming on the fish pond. And this is another rough road that they tried to make it fine for all vehicles passing. And I had to stop because I love to see those thousands ducklings swimming on the left side of the fish pond. And here we go, we move again, and we are closing into the beautiful house of my friend. And we are just meters away, and there is also a beautiful river right behind that bamboo leaves that we can see. So we are turning right, and the river that I am talking about is just on our left side. So that's the beautiful body of water that is used and very useful for farmers, as this is the main irrigation of this area. And so here we are, my dear friends, that we are now in the rest house of my friend, and this is our lovely parking lot. And so this is the rest house of my friend that we are going to share some meal that we prepared. And we have a weekly meeting, which is every Thursday, that we sometimes socialize. And this is really a lovely place to relax for the moment from the hectic life in the city, or some escape from our day-to-day lives. And the wind is continuously blowing, and you can feel the fresh provincial setup. And beside this area is the river that they used to irrigate their farmlands.